So these are the actual hands-on ways that we implement what's taught in the Quran as the principles and bringing it out in young people so that they can maximize their understanding of their aim and purpose as being stewards of the earth by way of what's said in the divine dictate of the Quran. So our children, O children of Adam, wear your beautiful apparel at every time and place of prayer. Eat and drink, but waste not by excess, for Allah loves not the wasters. So we're engaging young people into community gardens, which turn into garden entrepreneurship through farmers markets, through learning about composting, learning about all the things that it takes to be a team building in this. And some of these young people are learning, just hands-on, like carpentry. But the biggest piece that's gotten out of this is that our young people are getting work ethics that relate to eating well and then playing hard. The reward for working in the garden is the outdoor activities of canoeing, hiking, biking, fly fishing, and doing all the things that we do as a unit to bring about the synergy that we have to respect ourselves and our community and to bring about change. And again, my sayings are our youth don't only want something to do, they want something to be. So we take them on a line of career launches toward the conservation, lining them up with schools that can tell them everything from paper scientists to landscape architects to renewable energy and air quality control, stormwater managers. They get hit by these workshops and special people coming in to speak to them. But the epic center of their doing is the community gardens, where they connect them with intergenerational and community people with the food that we produce in these gardens, community gardens. So it's giving our young people, and these young people work through a summer youth employment, earning about $7.30 an hour. So they are actually being compensated for learning and working in the gardens from the summer youth employment. They're getting an understanding about what their future could be from understanding the kind of work that's upon us, considering climate change and considering food shortages and considering what we consider, they say the food deserts in our community. There's too many McDonald's, too many corner stores and bodegas, and we get used to it. Some of the departments, some of the food markets are so distant from us with people without cars that depending on gardens is the order of the day in some communities, particularly in the communities that I work in with underserved youth. So they're preparing themselves for the green collar economy. If anyone has not, please take a look at Van Jones' book, the green collar economy, and see how the repurposing of folks doing the kinds of work that are green is sparking on a great movement. So recycling. In our garden, at this time, we're about to put up, this is not up yet, but this is about putting up, in regards to water again, a rainwater catchment system, where we started out with plugging our hose into a next door neighbor's water spout and paying her water bill, and now we're about to put up a 550-gallon tank, build the roofs that are inclined to collect rainwater. And if looking at this tank, if you can just imagine that another hose will go to the top with a stationary bike next to it, where the kids will exercise on that bike, building up pressure in the tank so that pressure can produce a pressure to actually hose and irrigate our garden, which is, again, eat well, play hard, doing the things that relate to having fun, but on the way to making change. This is our vermicomposting bin. We did some composting in another way, but we're getting into vermicomposting where we're collecting the food. This is another job opportunity. Young people are hired to collect the foods from 3 different schools' cafeterias, just the food that's scraped and separated in there. That food goes into one bin where it's decomposed, and then in the second bin where there's 1,000 red wiggler worms that eat that food. Their waste becomes the kind of compost that is the best growing, their waste, and then we put that into the third bin. This year we're putting a solar panel on that bin so that it expedites the decomposition, and then the food that comes out, the dirt that comes out of the soil that comes out of the third bin becomes our soil for our composting going into our raised bed garden beds. These are our raised beds, and we do square foot raised bed gardening, bringing math and science to the garden in regards to how much a square foot can produce and be cultivated for food. These are our community volunteers that come through from the community colleges, Muslim Student Associations, and we partner with high school students, and they come and they work along with us. Some of these students here you see in red are from the Albany Medical College, they're our future doctors who come into Albany to go to school, and they're at the 4 or 5 years of school, and their tuition says that they will work in an underserved community. I networked again with the community, with the administration of the school, and said, let's let these students, these new students, meet some of the youth that they may have as clients when they finish school, or as patients right now. So they get to know why they wear the hoodies, what kind of sneakers they like, and the kind of food things they got. Some of these students are nutritionists and head trauma. They have workshops that they give with the kids about career launches and things like that. So it's a good synergy of young people that are mixing together in the garden as the center for their doing things. And these are the sources that you can go to get more of an Islamic perspective of different movements in the United States and other places that are doing the kind of Islamic and Muslim-inspired alliances to bring about change through conservation, through community garden, through recreation, and through academics that are changing for the purpose of careers that are going to be in conservation, considering that we're upon a green collar and things are changing from the fossil fuel and the other things that we have. So it's about leading our young people through a Quranic perspective, respect for earth, a love for God, and a love for our neighbor, and doing those kinds of things that bring about change in their community, where they can see change in their community, they can envision change in the world, and become a part of that. So that's the presentation there. That's the last frame. Thank you for letting me share that.
We're out of time, and but I wanted to just go ahead and thank you again for all the great information that you've provided. I think a lot of people got a lot out of it, especially in the conversation and getting just your perspective and the things that you're doing with your youth partnership and your programs that you're working on. It's quite impressive and quite extensive. It's definitely inspiring to see all the things that you're doing. It's excellent, and I'm so happy that you know, are giving your time to share with us. So it's awesome.